It proves that the distillation of knowledge is not bidirectional. So Richard Feynman, can break it down to a child, but a child cannot then read-arrive what Feynman has done.
Interesting, yeah.
And so it's convenient for the transmission of communication and for teaching someone who's, let's say, coming new to an organization. Here are the things, and these give you the decision-making frameworks around which, and it can give you directional guidance. But that is the whole founder mode. That is basically a different way of getting to the founder mode idea. That person derived this thing.
Yeah.
And so when a problem arises, we can rederive the next solution rather than trying to apply the aphorism to a new setting.
Another point for founders who are getting their work copied.
Yeah, oh God.
Because everything you've just said actually should give a founder who's having their work copied, their t-shirt designs, their content copied, huge amount of peace. Because if I need to know steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up the staircase to success to be able to predict step 6, then if someone's just copying your step 5, you should be at total peace because they don't know the foundations that would lead to the next step. And that's what we see as podcasters. Podcasters copy you, they'll copy your thumbnail, your title, your whatever.
Dude, I mean, I'm sure you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
but the piece that I have is, honestly, I say to the team all the time, if that's the thing that makes us special, we're fucked anyway.
Yeah.
Like if it's the thumbnail or the this or the how we do this, if it's the trailer that made us special, we're fucked anyway.
Yeah.
But also, there's a set of principles, we call it the iceberg. The 99% of what we do, you can't see.
Yeah.
It's the culture, as you said.
It's like, so I have so much on this. So one is, right when I sat down, you were telling me about the episode that we ran that was like akin to a Shark Tank, but new version that we had on our channel. And as you saw me like kind of like groan and be like, it was 56 minutes on video, but it was so much work to produce that one thing, but no one sees all the work behind it. That's the 99%. So that's thing one. The next thing is, think about if you're a founder who's plagued with competition and being upset about it, I was one too, and I want to tell you how I got over it. So number one is think about the alternative, which is that no one copies you because no one cares about what you're doing. Well, then it would be a requisite for success that people copy you. So as long as you are successful, this is just a part of business. The second piece is, by definition, if someone copies you, they are second, period. And so if you want to lead, you can't look at anyone else. You have to consistently be deriving the next step, the step 6 that's unseen, from your first 5 steps to innovate, rather than I'm just going to parrot the next thing. And as soon as you find yourself copying, you have admitted defeat. You've admitted that you are no longer the leader and that you are just following in someone else's footsteps, and you're giving them the baton and saying, you be the champion, I'm happy with 2nd, 3rd, 5th place. And in a winner-take-all world like attention is, all the fruits go to the first place anyways.
Amen. Amen. I have nothing more to add. That's perfect. The last thing I want to talk to you about is, it's really like a 3-part thing. It's hard work, love, and happiness.
Okay.
And I put them together intentionally. One could say work-life balance, love, happiness. I think these things are kind of fundamentally intertwined. But how do you think about it? You're someone that's known as being very obsessive, very into your work, to say the least. You have a wonderful partner who seems to be aligned. I know.
Oh, super.
Okay, good.
She's hardcore.
So let's go through it. Work-life balance / hard work, love, and happiness.
Okay.
If we start with work-life balance, here's that shit question.
Beliefs on it?
Yeah.
So I will answer with how I derived my kind of life thesis, which was after we had taken about $40 million in distributions from Gym Launch personally throughout the years that we ran the company. And then in the year of the sale, for those of you who've never sold a company before, you typically don't want to change a lot of things. You kind of want the company to just be stable, keep working, everything's fine. And so it's one of the most harrowing experiences to go through because you can't really change anything. And if you're the founder, you're always trying to innovate. So you can't do what you're normally doing. And you also can't start the next. So you can't change current and you can't start new. Because if the deal doesn't go through, then you don't want to start 2 businesses, remember? Because we're, cardinal rule number 1, we're not chasing women in the red dress. And so you basically have to sit idly by and just let things operate. And so in that year, it was one of the most miserable years of my life because I basically had nothing to do. And when I looked back on my life, this sounds like, I looked back on my life as though it's been so long. I looked at the days that I enjoyed the most. And on those days, I had worked out and I had produced something, and I had done both of those with people I liked. And almost all of those days, I'd worked many, many hours. And when I realized that the idea of working hard so that I can insert blank, the so that actually makes it still destination driven. So that was when I derived what I called hard work is the goal. It's just to work hard. That is my goal.
And then die.
hmm On things worth doing. And I, those are the days that I love. And I get a tremendous amount of pushback for saying this. And it bothers a lot of people. And to them, I say, live your life whatever way you want. This is, again, my life is not a sermon. It's a documentary. This is just how I do it. You can do whatever you want. And for the people who are dissatisfied, try it. And if not, no worries. I really enjoy working. Like the best days are like when I write those books, it's the happiest I am. And it's not happy in the moment because it's really hard.
Mm.
But the amount of challenge is about proportional to my level of skill. And every book I think is better than the last. And the third book that's coming out is going to be fucking awesome. I'm very excited about it. But there's nothing that I enjoy more. But in the moment, I'm like, how do I break this down? And I'm just rubbing my forehead and I'm like, and then I create 2-3 different frameworks. I'm like, nope, that doesn't work here and that doesn't work here, which means some kid in Afghanistan is going to get stuck on this step because it doesn't work. I have to figure out how to get it so that it works everywhere. And I keep deriving it. But the moment it's like it clicks, I'm like, that's it. Fight me. Like that's the framework. That is what I strive for. And for me, the love, the happiness, and work have all, because of the nature of my life, been one. Now, some people have lived their lives where their love life and their happiness and their work are all separate. For me, it has just been life, and I like it that way. And for the people who are upset by that, I'm not upset about how you live your life. I just choose to live it this way. And if in the future I change my mind, I'll change my life. If I get to a point where I'm like, this is no longer a priority for me, something else is, then I will. But when I look at the centenarians and I look at the people who, like, I look at Warren Buffett as somebody and Charlie Munger as two of my heroes. Charlie worked until the day he died. And to be clear, I don't work on a 7-day calendar. I don't work a certain hour. I work as much as I can until I feel like my rate of output drops precipitously because of fatigue, and then I sleep. And then if I feel like on a longer time horizon of like I've worked 9 days, I've worked 20 days, I've worked 30 days in a row, and I'm like, all right, I feel like I don't have any gas today, then I'll take the whole day off. And whether that's a Tuesday or a Sunday or a Saturday, I take the day off. And that just is what it is. And I have learned to work that way, and I am okay with it.
The goal clearly for you then is the hard work itself and not a certain place you're trying to get to necessarily.
Because that always moves.
Yeah.
And so Jesse Itzler has this, and maybe I'll be able to steal it from him someday. But he told I saw him show a picture of his kid finishing a race and putting a 0 up, and what that signified was nothing left in the tank. That he'd spent everything he had on the field, and I would, and it's like I have this visual of the 300 movie where the queen says to the king as he goes off to battle, she says, "Come back with your shield or on it." And I kind of see like my work that way. Like I can't imagine a better way to go out than like doing the thing I love. And it bothers a lot of people that I love something different than they love. And it's like and it bothers me that it bothers them, to be honest. Um, because I make no projections. Like do whatever you want. And I feel like if I ever had a like one thing that people took from me, it was like absolute freedom. And because of that absolute freedom, we are 100% responsible for our own lives. And so where we place the finger of blame is also where power flows. So if you blame your parents for your life, your parents have power over your life. If you blame your boss for your bad life, your boss has power over your life. If you blame you for your bad life, at least you can change you and you can do something about it. And so I think absolute responsibility has been my core tenet. And if you have a life where you're like, I don't want to care about work that much and I just want to spend all my time with my family, I'm like, congratulations, you fucking won. That's amazing. Just don't assume that everyone's you. And that what winning for me is the same as winning for you. And and I think the times that I talk about this, I know that my message won't resonate with everyone, and that's okay. But it's for the few people who were like me and felt like everyone told them there was something wrong with them, and I still get people to tell me there's something wrong with me. And if wrong means not normal, then yeah, you bet. But it's more so that like you are different and that's okay. And I think that if you're okay with that, then it unleashes this whole new realm of possibility of being able to do what you want. And kind of like I had you do 100 of these and you look at the top 10%, do 100 of these, look at the top 10%. That was my way of trying to operationalize happiness because it was this ephemeral thing that when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, I struggled a ton with. I was very depressed. I looked at, religion. I looked at a lot of different things, and this is common for people at that age. And um, I came up with a mantra for me at that time, which was "fuck happiness." Now, people will then hear this, and I'm sure this will get taken out of context, but that was basically like this release moment for me, where by continually chasing happiness, it always existed outside of me. And so it was always this carrot that was in front of me that I could never really get to.
Mm.
And so by saying fuck happiness, I was like, it's unattainable. I'm just going to work and I'm just going to do the stuff I want to do. And when I started doing the stuff that I wanted to do, I looked up years later and I was like, I actually kind of like my life. And I was like, is this what happiness is? And I was like, I don't know. But I think one of the major plights of humanity, myself included, is the expectation that life should be different than it is. And so we create this idea that whatever we have right now is not what it should be. And I think should is the root of all pain. Is that all the things that we think should happen but aren't is basically the measurement of our pain. And so I've tried to eradicate should from my life. Should for other people, she should do this, they should do that. Um, and just lean into is. It just is this way. I work, period. Not I should work more, I should work less, or I should work differently, or I should see my mom more, I should call my dad more. I do this. And if something changes, I will change. And so unconditional shoulds. Now, if there is a condition of like, if you want to make more money, then this is a higher likelihood. You might want to consider doing this. Those are things that I don't consider in that category. But just the generalized shoulds of he shouldn't do that. He should build a family. He should have kids. He should have gotten married earlier. He should have gotten later. He should have married someone different. He shouldn't have the life that he has. He shouldn't work this way. According to what? And so for me, that is my theory on life, on happiness, work, and love has been very unified because I love my work so much that I got out of a relationship. And when I, started dating Layla, I said, I am not willing to change this. And so you have to be willing to deal with me working this way or this won't work because my relationship with my work is the most satisfying relationship I have. Now people will hear that and be like, well, that's because he's never experienced true love or whatever narrative they'll say. But it's like you haven't lived my life and I haven't lived yours and I don't project anything onto you. Um, but I love what I do. And I get attacked for liking what I do so much. And I like working a lot. And